Good morning, muscles! It's Mr. Fallon and happy Monday! It is so awesome to see you here with Good Morning Muscles this morning. Remember, Good Morning Muscles is your daily Kickstarter for what's going to be an amazing day. It's uploaded on It's Mr. Fallon's YouTube page every morning, 6 a.m. Wake up, do Good Morning Muscles, make it part of your daily routine to wake up and get stronger. So much fun. Boys and girls, are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? Here we go. Alright, let's get warmed up. Today, we're going back and we're doing a husky size warm-up. And the sport that we're going to husky size today is going to be golf. Do you like golf? Do you know anyone that likes golf? Have you ever played golf? Well, we're going to do a husky size warm-up. To get started, we're going to grab our imaginary golf club, and we have to get loosened up to golf. So hold our golf club, and we're going to do some trunk twists, and get our waist all loosened up, all ready to go so we can hit the ball really far when we hit it. Alright, looking good, muscles, getting our waist all loosened up, all ready to drive the ball really far. Now let's take the golf club, hold it in this hand, and let's twirl our golf club with this hand. And you can do a step touch with Mr. Fallon while we do this arm circles here. And now let's put our golf club in this arm, and spin it, and spin it, and get it all ready to go. We want our shoulders nice and loose. Here we go. Alright, now take our golf club, hold it in both hands, put your feet together, your back foot, reach it all the way down to your toes. Hold it down there, keep your knees flat, and let's keep it held there. Get our hamstrings loosened up. Keep it there. Very nice. Go strong. Alright, we are ready to go. Let's take our ball, put our ball on the tee. Here, let's get a ball, put it on our tee. Get a ball, put it on our tee. Get a ball, put it on our tee. A ball, on a tee. A ball, on a tee. Now let's get a ball from over here. Put it on our tee. Here it is. Very good. Keep putting your ball on the tee. The tee is what holds it off the ground. You get to use the tee on your first hit in golf. Your first hit is a drive where you try to hit it as far as you can, because the hole that we're trying to hit the ball into is really far away. Alright, I think we have the ball on our tee. Now let's get ready. Let's hold our golf club. Our hands are together. We're going to do a drive where we're going to try to hit it as far as we can. Let's bring it back and drive. And bring it back and drive. And back and drive. And surprisingly, you don't step when you pull. Drive. Really nice. Drive it really far. How far are you driving that ball? Are you getting it really close to the pin? The pin shows you where the hole is when you're really far away. And we're using a golf club called the driver right now. Really good. Keep driving. So far. Drive it really hard. You see why we got our waist nice and loose earlier? Very nice. Hands together. And let's drive it 2 more times. 2 more times. 1 more time. And there. Oh no. When we drove the ball, it went in the water. Let's swim and get the ball. I can't believe we drove it so far it went into the water. That's our favorite golf ball. We need to get it back. Oh, we're almost out to it. Keep swimming to that golf ball. So strong. Looking good. Keep swimming and swimming and swimming. And there it is. Now we need to go down and get it. A breaststroke. Go down and get the ball. It's way on the bottom of this pond. There it is. Grab it. And grab it. And grab it. And grab have our ball. Now we get to set it down. We don't get to put it on the sheet for our second shot. Our second shot. We're going to use our knuckle club. We're going to use our iron and try to get it really close. We're getting really close to the pole. We go over back. And bring it back. And now we're using our iron. Not going to go as far as what it was. We'll use our driver. Then we're hitting it off the ground, not off the tee. Let's hit it 5 more. 4 more. 1 more time. And last one. Unbelievable. It got stuck in that first nest in the tree. Let's climb the tree there and go fall back. Climb the tree. And it's in the hole. Let's do a fist bump. Yeah. 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 Yes. 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 Awesome warm up.
Jimmie Johnson's 7th Cup championship came out of nowhere, as much as could be possible in a 4-driver shootout last year at Homestead Miami Speedway. He'll not be overlooked this season as he vies for what would be a record 8th championship at NASCAR's highest level. That Johnson has accomplished this since his first title in 2006, in the most competitive era in the history of the sport, is truly legendary stuff. He's 41, the beard is thick and flecked with gray, but Johnson is still the master of his domain. History could be in the offing in 2017.
Jokes. If you like jokes, here's one for you. Where do pencils go on vacation? It's someplace pretty close to here. It's Pennsylvania! boys and girls, it's now time for Spot Run Story Time. Over the weekend, we had 2 special episodes of Good Morning Muscles where we started our new book. If you missed those, make sure you go back on It's Mr. Fallon's YouTube page, do those videos, stand up, spot run through them, get stronger, and hear about our new story. Our new book is called Wayside School is Falling Down. We're on chapter 3 now. It's called BB's Baby Brother. Mrs. Jules asked Damon to pass back the homework. BB Gunn waited nervously, except for her grades had not been very good lately. If she didn't start bringing home better grades, her parents said they wouldn't let her stay up past midnight. She did her best artwork after midnight. Damon handed Calvin his homework, then Todd, then Joy. "Where's yours?" asked Calvin. "I don't know," said BB. "Did you do it?" asked Calvin. "Yes, I did," said BB. "I worked extra hard on it. I hope Mrs. Jules didn't lose it." Damon finished passing out the homework. BB never got hers. "BB, will you please come here?" said Mrs. Jules. She pushed out of her seat, stood up, and nervously walked to Mrs. Jules' desk. "I did my homework, Mrs. Jules." "Really?" "Yes, I know," said Mrs. Jules. She held BB's homework in her hand. "Whew!" BB sighed with relief. "I was afraid you lost it." "No, I didn't lose it," Mrs. Jules said sternly. She showed the back of the paper to BB. Someone had written, "Mrs. Jules is as fat as a hippopotamus, and she smells like one, too." "I didn't write that," exclaimed BB. "I love the way you smell." Mrs. Jules smiled. "But if you didn't write it, who did?" "Ray," BB replied. "Who's Ray?" "He's my little brother, Ray Gunn. He must have snuck into my room after I was asleep. He's always playing mean tricks on me. He knew how hard I worked on my homework." "Well, we'll show Ray," said Mrs. Jules. She gave BB an A+. "There, I don't think he'll try that again." "Thanks," said BB. "You may have a Tootsie Roll Pop, too," said Mrs. Jules. BB took a Tootsie Roll Pop out of the coffee can on Mrs. Jules' desk and returned to her seat. She proudly showed Calvin her A+. The next day, Mrs. Jules asked Damon to hand back another batch of homework. "How come Damon always gets to do everything?" griped Kathy. "I'm sorry, Kathy," said Mrs. Jules. "Would you like to pass back the homework?" "No," grumped Kathy. "I'm not your slave." Damon passed out the homework. Again, BB didn't get hers. Mrs. Jules called her to her desk. On the back of her homework, someone had written, "Mrs. Jules has a head full of oatmeal, and it leaks out of her ears." I love oatmeal. "I didn't write it," said BB. "Ray?" asked Mrs. Jules. BB nodded. "Why don't you start checking the back of your homework?" suggested Mrs. Jules. "I did when I woke up," said BB. "He must have done it after breakfast when I was brushing my teeth. We had oatmeal for breakfast." Mr. Fallon had oatmeal for breakfast today. She shook her head. "I won't brush my teeth anymore." "You have to brush your teeth," said Mrs. Jules. "My parents think he's such a little angel," BB complained. "He's always wrecking things, and then I'm always the one who gets in trouble." "Why can't you be more like Ray?" they say. "Yesterday he threw all my underwear out the window. Then my mother yelled at me for doing it. She wouldn't believe that her little darling son would do something like that." Mrs. Jules gave BB another A+ and another Tootsie Roll Pop. For Friday, everyone had to write a report and read it to class. BB wrote her report about George Washington. She stood at the front of the room and read it out loud. "George Washington never told a lie. Not like Mrs. Jules, she tells lies all the time. That's why her nose is so big, and she snores when she sleeps. So Mr. Jules has to wear earplugs." Everyone was laughing. BB stopped reading. "What's so funny?" she asked. "Come here," said Mrs. Jules. BB shrugged and walked to Mrs. Jules' desk. Mrs. Jules showed her what she had just read. "Did I just read that out loud?" BB asked. Mrs. Jules nodded. I was just reading it, Bibi exclaimed. I wasn't listening. It was Ray again, wasn't it? Asked Mrs. Jules. Had to be, said Bibi. Yesterday he put toothpaste in my socks. Then my mother got mad at me for making a mess and wasting toothpaste. Bibi got an A+ on the report and another Tootsie Roll Pop. After school, Mrs. Jules called Bibi's mother on the phone. Hello, Mrs. Gunn. This is Mrs. Jules from Wayside School. What's Bibi done now? Asked Mrs. Gunn. Bibi hasn't done anything wrong, said Mrs. Jules. She is a wonderful girl. Well, that's a surprise, said Mrs. Gunn. She's always causing trouble at home. I wanted to talk to you about that, said Mrs. Jules. I think you're being unfair to Bibi. I think she often gets in trouble when really Ray is to blame. Ray? Asked Mrs. Gunn. Yes. I know you think he's a perfect angel, said Mrs. Jules, but some children can be angels on the outside and devils underneath. Yeah, that sounds like Bibi, said Mrs. Gunn. I'm not talking about Bibi, I'm talking about Ray. Ray? Asked Bibi's mother. Who's Ray? Boys and girls, our steps for today. Tomorrow on Good Morning Muscles, we're going to read a story all about one of your favorite things. Homework. I wonder how this is going to turn out. Game time! Game time! All right, for game time this week, we're going to be working on some rolling and bowling games. Do you like bowling? Have you ever been bowling before? We're going to be practicing this, and hopefully sometime soon, you'll be able to go to a place like Good Times and do some real bowling using these skills. Today what we're going to do is we're going to do our first rolling and bowling game. We're going to use our jug and our ball that bounces. This is how it's going to work. We're going to take our jug, put it down, and take one giant step away from our jug. So my jug's here, one giant step away. Now Mr. Fallon is going to try to roll his ball and hit the jug. Now boys and girls, when you roll or when you bowl, you don't want the ball to bounce. So we're going to do a few things to make sure that our ball that bounces doesn't bounce. So what we're going to do is I've taken my one giant step away. I'm going to put it by the side of my knee like this. So I'll go ahead and I'll face the camera first. Side of my knee like this. I'm going to step. I'm going to bend. And then I'm going to roll. And the reason why it's important to bend is so that the ball doesn't bounce. So if I showed you from back here, ball by the side of my knee, step, bend, and roll. So it'll stay right on the ground. Let's try without our jug first. I'm going to try from over here. I'm not going to aim for the jug. I'm going to just try to roll the ball. And watch how it stays right on the ground. Ball by the side of my knee, step, bend, and roll. Keep it right on the ground. Did your ball stay right on the ground? Let's try that again. We're not tossing it, we're rolling it. Ball by the side of my knee, step, bend, and roll. Keep it right on the ground. Let's try that one more time. Ball by the side of my knee, step, bend, and roll. Alright, once you're able to roll it without it bouncing, now we're ready to get back to our game. So Mr. Fallon's going to put his jug right over here. And if Mr. Fallon wants to make it a little bit more challenging, I can aim for this side. So Mr. Fallon's going to try to aim for this side of his jug, not this side. This would be a little easier. This would be a little more challenging. So if you want a challenge, aim for the side of the jug. Mr. Fallon's going to put it like that. One giant step. And I'm going to put the ball by the side of my knee. Step, bend, and roll. And it stayed right on the ground and hit the jug. Mr. Fallon just got a strike. A strike in bowling is when you roll the ball one time and you knock down all the pins. Now Mr. Fallon's going to move on to level 2. For level 2, I stand by my jug. 2 giant steps. 1, 2. Now it's a little more challenging. Ball by the side of my knee. Stop, bend, and roll. Oh, I got another strike. I got another strike. I got another strike. Oh, sorry. I got a little excited there. Sorry. Now I'm going to move to level 3. Stand by my jug. 3 giant steps. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we're getting pretty far away. Ball by the outside of my knee. Step, bend, and roll. Oh, I missed that time. But my ball did stay right on the ground. I can keep trying to beat level 3. Let me try again. So if I miss, let's try again. Try to get better. 1, 2, 3. Ball by the outside of my knee. Step, bend, and roll. I got a strike. I got it. I got a strike. Yeah, I got it. Oh, sorry. Focus, Mr. Fallon. All right, so Mr. Fallon made it to level 3. Boys and girls, see what level you can make it to. Remember, ball by the outside of your knee, step, bend, and roll. You don't want your ball to bounce. If you make it so far, like Mr. Fallon, if I made it to level 4, I'd probably be doing it on top of my couch. So it might be a great game for me to go outside and play. Hey, practice it. It's so much fun. Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You are amazing. And you are amazing because you worked so hard today. Awesome job. I had so much fun today because you worked so hard. Boys and girls, thank you for joining me with Good Morning Muscles today. Remember, tomorrow we'll be back again, 6 a.m. Wake up, first thing you do, turn on Good Morning Muscles. Tomorrow, we're going to be continuing with our rolling and bowling game. We have a sumo warm-up. We're going to continue with our Wayside Schools Falling Down story. So funny. And boys and girls, in the meantime, keep working hard. Get outside, practice or play. Show up tomorrow with our trip around the bike trail. It's going to be a blast. I'm so excited to see so many people. In the meantime, see you tomorrow.